Please enjoy our podcast, but remember our doctors are only here to educate, not diagnose.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Friendship 4. My name is Wendy, and I'll be your captain for this evening's trip across the World Showcase Lagoon to Morocco. For the safety of yourself and those around you, we ask that you remain seated at all times, and please refrain from smoking while on board the Friendship. If you do find yourself smoking, please drop to the center aisle and roll. Thank you.
Nice. I had to look down the whole time. I just couldn't. I knew it was going to be great because we were at Disney, last month, and everybody. Some people are super into what they say, and some people aren't. And I just love hearing you do it. So that is that voice belongs to our very favorite. Well, I guess we can't. One of our very favorite patients, Wendy, and she has been a patient of ours 4
or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
I don't know, somewhere in there.
Everyone doesn't age when I meet them. You stay the same exact age that I meet you. And so I don't know how long most people have been here. I'm like, oh yeah, you're still 23. They're like,
I'm still under 30.
That's right. That's right. You're like 20 when I met you. And so Wendy is our next bone story. You guys know how bone stories work. We pick a patient to honor, and then we bring them on here and ruin their experience with podcasts, and it's just wonderful. And it's the only thing that we like more than talking about bones is talking to our patients about their bones. And that's what Wendy really brings to the table. She is super engaged with chiropractic care, just always wanting to know more. And man, we hardly stop talking as it is. And if anybody ever says to us, tell me more, once we're done crying, we just start talking again. So Dr. Matt is outside that door with about 100 patients. So
it is nuts.
He's got a lot. So we're hiding in here. And so we've done our traditional, let's buy her food and then get her to talk to us. And so we have once again succeeded. So we have several questions for you, Wendy, if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Excellent. Dr. Meyer, me first, you first, me first?
I think you first.
Okay. You're from New York.
Oh.
No, you're from Illinois.
Grew up in southern Illinois.
Places,
That's
right?
what it was. It was like New York by way of southern Illinois. I knew that.
When did I start to learn about chiropractic? When I was a kid, my dad used to go to the chiropractor. His chiropractor was actually his best man at his wedding.
Stop it.
So before he became a chiropractor, he was his friend from high school, and that's why he was his best man.
Okay, man. Okay.
But I always thought, man, I want to go to the chiropractor.
Yeah, right.
So, our parents couldn't afford that. They were like, you're kids. You don't need to go.
Yeah, you're fine.
So I went to college, all that good stuff. I get a job in Cincinnati after college, and I was like, I think I need to go to the chiropractor. And I mentioned that I was complaining about something, and a coworker said, I think you need to go to the chiropractor. She sent me to a guy who specialized really with sports folks related to chiropractic. He was great. And I went there until I left Cincinnati, and I moved to New York City, tried another chiropractor there. He got a little too new age.
Oh, yeah.
And some stuff.
That happens.
And I was like, in New York, you can change. You can find other stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Went to another guy, and he just was really focused on one area, and I just felt like I needed more wholeness to it.
Yeah, what about
by that
my
time,
bones?
I was ready to leave and move back to St. Louis. And so I moved downtown St. Louis. And I just got some recommendations from coworkers. I was like, where should I go? And they were like, yeah, try this guy. And I was like, yeah, he became a little too new age.
Yeah, it's wild. It drives Dr. Matt insane.
So with all those experiences, do you remember 4 or 5 years ago, did you have specific expectations before you came in here specifically?
Right. So my expectation was that I'm going to come in here and I'm going to come in once a month, but I'll make sure that, I'm going to see the doctor, and he's probably not going to know my name. And he's going to spend less than 4 minutes with me.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to have a bunch of questions, and I'm going to have to piece together everything.
Oh.
And
I'm already getting mad at that guy.
And a woman's body has a little bit more complicated.
I think I was telling you about this the other day. It's like fixing men, 6-person orchestra. Fixing women, 48-person orchestra.
Right.
Yeah. We've talked about that a few times on the podcast.
That's
the
it.
Difference. Yeah.
Dudes, we just throw them down the stairs. You know what I mean?
So I was pleasantly surprised to walk in. Notice it felt like more of a community open vibe, of course, because everybody is in the same room and you're not off in a room. So I ask questions, and I'm good at asking questions, and I don't care if it embarrasses me or not. But if I've got questions, and it's possible that somebody else in the room is hearing my question too, and they are too embarrassed to ask that question, and that makes me feel really good.
That has absolutely happened.
Yeah.
It's absolutely happened. Happens all the time, and it's 100% happened when you've been here over the years because you ask really good questions. Like, people are like, well, what about this? Like, what do you really want to know? Oh, Wendy will ask.
So I found you guys by asking my sister, who lives in a completely different town.
Right.
In a different state. And she said, well, this is a chiropractor I go to. Let me ask him if he's got any suggestions for people down in St. Louis. And they suggested you. And I started coming in.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I wonder who that was.
Great.
I don't remember who it was. But, like, honestly, it's us. Like,
right.
Like, come on.
It wasn't luck.
Yeah.
So I do remember you saying something to me a couple of weeks ago that was, it's so important for women to feel they know their bodies more than any of the other people who are giving them any kind of advice.
It's clearly, it happens today, no question. But our moms and their moms just malpracticed. Just absolutely malpracticed. When medicine back in the day was just really male dominated, and man, oh man, oh man, oh man, the stuff you talk to your moms, or the stuff that those doctors did to them, or the way they were treated, just makes you want to go back in time and beat someone up. Yeah. And to this day, I still can't deal with it. If somebody comes in and they've been ignored, they haven't been listened to, they haven't been empowered, and it's like it's 2022. Like, you can get all the information I talk about off the internet before you even leave the room. And so if you're going to be a good doctor, you better be empowering them with information rather than dismissing them. It drives me insane. Because they act like they're the guardians. Some doctors act like they're the guardians of some forbidden fruit. Like, screw you. I'll go on the wiki, and I'll find out, like, you better help me with this rather than, like, be dismissive. So thanks for saying that. It's a really big deal to us. It's a really big deal to us.
Yeah.
We've appointed ourselves the writers of, in addition to fixing bones, like we're going to put healthcare back into the hands of the people, at the risk of sounding like a Bolshevik, back at the hands of the people, but like specifically the women, and it makes my day. It makes my day to hear you say something like that. So
yeah.
I don't remember what the next question was. I got too busy on a rant.
Well, it's just making me feel like I'm not crazy and
right.
I know more.
Right.
Is important because I was listening to a middle school kid at church this past weekend. He was complaining that he's got these headaches that just won't go away or whatever. And people are asking him, well, did you go to the dentist? Did you do this? Right. Did you do that? Did you check out the allergist? Did you check out that? And the kid's sitting there and he said, I think it's something to do with the house we just moved in. I think there's something wrong with the house. And the people who were talking to him were like not listening to him. They were just kept throwing more ideas.
Yeah, all right, but listen,
like,
did you?
Yeah,
right.
That's frustrating.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Whatever, did he do any?
I don't know.
I gotta know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know the kid's name, but that was just me sitting in the vicinity, just like that happens all the time.
That whole approach to people, God, it was so didactic there for a while. Come in, tell you what's what, and then they leave. It's like information age. If the 20th century is anything for us, it's changed that back into a dialogue. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay, all right. I'm satisfied with that. And then, okay. What's your favorite memory in this facility so far? What's a favorite? Can you think of something funny or something cool or something you just love that you saw happen here?
Yeah,
or at the other place.
There are a few different things.
Oh my God, tell us all of them.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I got all day.
My husband and I went on a vacation, and we were in a heap of trouble at the top of a mountain. Yes. In a snowstorm.
In a Subaru.
In a whiteout, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and we really did not know if we were going to live.
Yeah.
And it was really serious. And there's no way.
You called our office.
What'd you say?
You called our office for help.
We got down at the bottom of that mountain and looked at each other and said, we cannot wait to tell.
Yeah, I was blown away, yeah. I was like, holy cow. The pictures tell the story.
And that was where again? Where were you?
Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah, I was going to say, It was.
Trail Ridge Road. and it was October. And we got down to the bottom, and it looked like summertime again at 70 degrees. But there were 200,000, 300,000 by that time acres burning.
Yeah.
And a snowstorm came through, and we could not tell that until it was too late.
That's wild, man.
We were just driving up the mountain, thought it was just going to be
this. Maybe we'll hold hands today. Then whap! Now you die.
Yeah. So we're very pleased that my husband and I have the same level of...
I remember
extreme. So if we say, you want to go parachuting? I don't know. It feels a little more Trail Ridge Road than I want. And we're like, all right, I get it.
No problem.
We're not doing that.
We done did it.
How long were you stuck?
We had to keep driving, but it was a good hour in a whiteout.
Just driving straight.
And there are no guardrails.
Somewhere nothing. No idea where. Yeah.
And we later heard 3 people spun out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no trees because you're above the tree line. Yeah. It was pretty bad.
You're just going straight down.
It was really bad.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And
the pictures they told me. I remember we talked about this for like an hour because I was absolutely enthralled by the story. It was wild, man.
But so let me be real here about memories of coming into this office. Is that sometimes it's not what I see you helping me with. It's how folks with special needs, when they come into the office, I see how they're treated, and it's really nice to see that the body and the person are sometimes 2 separate things.
Yeah.
That you really look at them in the eyes and you talk to them about what's driving them nuts, and then you just say, well, this is just a body that you're dealing with, and we gotta figure it out. And that just makes me feel better about, this is just something going on with my body, and you gotta figure it out and move forward.
Giving people ownership of that is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you got it. We got it. We'll help you. Like, come on, we can do this together. Yeah. We talk about this. It's this isn't some mystical thing. Here's what's wrong. And I really appreciate you saying that. It can be very challenging because you just want to cry and hug them, but you gotta keep a straight face and you gotta do it right.
And then for me personally, it's dizziness shows up one month. You don't know what to do with it, man. And then I can barely walk into the office, and then the next time I'm like, why can't I get any weight to shed? Right. And how are you exercising? Try doing this, try doing that. And it's about the whole body.
The whole body.
That I'm always interested in trying to figure out what can I.
And it's boring if we just have one thing to work on. So it's nice to have a variety of.
Right.
I'll show you guys something next month you won't believe it. Like, oh, great, thanks, Wendy.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
On our toes. You've kind of already talked about this, but I guess if you had to put it in a few sentences, what is your favorite thing about this office? I think you've kind of already talked about.
What about physically?
I think it's the Christmas decorations that Marissa
Straight
puts
up.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
She told you to say that.
She might listen to this podcast now.
She won't.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a little bit of a free massage in it for me.
Oh, shoot. That sassy thing. She's the best. She has a very great decorating eye. And Marissa likes to really push the envelopes of Christmas. And so what happens is that there's some members of the staff that think Christmas should be 365 days a year. And then there's other members of our staff that think Christmas should just stay in its lane. And it has a super important contribution to make to us every year. Christmas does. But Christmas doesn't need to be the first week of Thanksgiving, and it doesn't need to be hanging around at Valentine's Day. And so there are warring factions. And so Marissa and Dr. Matthew Fink are in it's Christmas right now.
Speaking of,
yeah,
we have our special guest.
Hello,
Dr. Matthew Fink.
It's me.
Welcome in. How are your patients?
Our patients are doing really well.
You had a lot of people out there. I was looking under the door frame.
You want to wipe your
I
brow?
can see the whites of your eyes.
Yeah.
Wipe that brow.
Yeah, it was. You're doing all the heavy lifting out there, bro.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh,
shares.
it is what it is.
Everybody shares their load. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You hear what I'm saying?
So far, we have talked to Wendy about everything that we wanted to talk to her about.
Oh, wonderful.
On her list so far, but she was just describing how much she likes the Christmas decorations.
Okay. Yeah.
She was made a patsy into the great Christmas war that rages.
I feel like you're a little bit. I mean, it's not really a war. It's like it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, you make it out to be a much bigger deal than it actually is.
That's because if I don't, the Christmas people they'll have that stuff up at Halloween.
Take over.
Yeah, and like I think we all know Halloween.
What you're saying is
that's the greatest Halloween.
I'm totally wrong. And
no, I do. I disagree with you. But also Halloween's the best holiday.
Well, yeah, you can, Dr. Josh. You're absolutely allowed to have that choice. Mm-hmm. And I, as a coworker and brother, I'm digging it. I'm down with it.
Did we ever talk about how many houses we did this year?
97. We hit 20 more than last year.
3 houses shy of 100 with our sons. Mm-hmm. Just flat out run.
What happened in 97 to keep you from getting to 100?
We were so far ahead of the game and feeling so good. We're like, we have to stop. We'll never get 100 coming out of the game.
Also, because we have a slower clip while we're walking.
Because we're heavy with the candy.
A lot of the houses ran out of candy before we got there.
Right.
So, like, towards the last...
We admonished our children to speed up.
The last 25 houses, there was maybe 3 or 4 houses that actually had... but the house that was out of candy but still had beer, that was nice.
Yes.
Do you count that one?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I've never been so physically accosted to take a beer. I felt real and true peer pressure. And it was this man with a flashlight. He's like, we're out of candy, and he had a flashlight. He shines it at Matt. And he's like, hey, looks like you're out too. Matt's like, what? He's like, you're out of beer. Matt's like, okay. He's like, you want a beer? Matt's like, all right. And then I'm like, this man's giving everyone beer. And there were so many dads. And he looked at me. I'm like, I'll take one. Like I didn't even fight him. I just took the beer because he's being so kind. But like, that was wild.
It was great.
Yeah. Are you a Halloween or a Christmas?
Well, I was an art major, so I really enjoyed the creativity in Halloween.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
No, so you were an art major. Where'd you go to college?
Eastern Illinois University.
The Panthers.
The Panthers.
Yeah, man.
And then I moved to
that school.
Oxford, Ohio.
Right.
Dr. Brad stomping ground.
Yeah,
Did
man.
we figure out?
We got a lot
were
of
you
friends
there
in
at the
Eastern.
same time. I was there from 95 to 99. Were you
I
there
was
during
there
that time frame?
98 to 2000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
We probably crossed paths. And
We did, I'm
even
sure.
know.
In Oxford. Yeah,
At
that's
Mac and Joe's.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was probably there.
That's
And
awesome.
SDS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, sub night.
97X.
nice. I can't believe you were never a DJ. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your whole personality. I'm shocked, honestly, that you weren't in
First run.
something like that. Something
DJ.
like that. Oh, you guys talk about stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
But I meant like...
Brad and I have inside jokes.
Yeah. You guys
No.
keep doing that. That's
Hey,
cool.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that happened, but like when I was in New York, one of the IT
What? Like,
guys
you're in New York?
just pulls me aside and says, "You're doing the phone voice."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I had to dial 1 for your operator, dial
Absolutely.
9 for the company directory. And I'm still getting that now where I work now.
You'll probably get discovered.
You think so?
Oh yeah, but
Well,
like where you work at now, if you get discovered, that's lucrative.
Yeah. Well,
There's like a lot of people interested in what you have to say. You know what I mean? Do we talk about where you work? Do we do that? Can we do that?
No,
on the
we
podcast?
better not do that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Secret agent.
people will be like,
did we talk about where she worked at one time?
We did.
She did the
We
thing.
did.
She opened. We did a cold open. Dang it! So the podcast is gonna already rolled out, and people are just gonna hear her, and it's gonna be wonderful. Brett and I had to look down.
I was like, is this Spine Whisper or is this?
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that surprises me that you aren't. I guess your math must be as good as your art.
Yes, I was also a business major.
Yeah, that's wow. What a wild extreme.
Yeah,
You know, there's art majors, and there's business majors,
that's right.
and there's
They
never.
don't usually hang out.
There's never. Yeah, right. That's cool.
No.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like each lobe of your brain is
Yeah.
one with one another
Yeah.
while you try to decipher
Yeah.
like spatial
Like your
placement
corpus
and-
callosum is like.
Yeah. Left and right sided brain.
As my chiropractor, you might be able to tell me more
Yeah.
if I'm more weighed down on one side than the other.
You're like the Swiss Army knife of careers. You know, like I got something for that.
It's a little stressful to tell you the truth.
You do a lot of
I'm too good at too many things. There's another person at this table that's also good at a lot of
There are a lot of people that are good at a lot of things. Some are just good at making it look like it.
Tell us about your volunteer work. You do a ton of work with kids.
Oh, I enjoy spending time at church with the middle schoolers and high schoolers. At least once a week we get together, and there can be upwards of a couple hundred kids that show up.
Good night.
And they ask us to kind of own a class.
Sure.
And you start with them in 6th grade and move on up with them every year. And so
cool.
my girls are in 11th grade now.
God dang.
They are.
Yeah.
They're my kids, you know. Like, I haven't had any kids of my own, so it's really easy for me to look at them and say my expectations are huge for you.
Watch this. Yeah,
Don't
watch
let
this.
me down.
It's,
Don't let me down.
Man, that whole it takes a village deal. You know, it's absolutely true. But also, like, you want to get in the way of the bad stuff. Like, if you're always around, if there's always a thing, then, like, when we learn something bad, or especially for young ladies, you know, they hear something bad, or they see something bad, or they're exposed to something bad, the faster you have a normal, healthy, rational adult in their face, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, oh my gosh. It's one of the most important talks that we do here about nutrition. It's not starvation. There are ways to lose weight healthily. And we go almost crazy giving that talk because I don't talk as much at the men as I do with the women. Like, no one's going to listen to me. You know, I'm a dude. I'm an older doctor, you know. Well, I'm not older. I'm just not 20.
Just older than
Write that down. I'm just older than the rest. But, like, you know, we need to empower more women to talk to younger women about nutrition. It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
But, like, with having you present, I'm just happy for those people. Especially to have you present often enough and for long enough that you can help change that trajectory. I bet you've had some really cool influence on people.
Yeah, it's really nice to talk to the parents also, because I say, well, I'm talking to your daughter about this sometimes, and what are you talking to them about? Because then I can be like, if they don't listen to their mom, at least they're getting another adult that's saying, you know, but I don't. Yeah, so it's about a village raising the parents too.
Yeah, you're right about that.
You
they need some help.
help.
They need some help. They get exposed to so many stupid things, and it's like,
parents need to support. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
and then you're married to a man that can throw a disc further than Dr. Maurer.
It's quite impressive. It really is.
And that was
the reason
that was his move,
dating.
right? Yeah, that was his move. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, that was the
Watch
move.
this.
He's like, you want to see me throw this? And you're like, all right.
I was like, hey, I want to go sit out at Art Hill. And I said, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
this
cool.
is like
you're playing it cool.
First couple of months we were
playing it
dating,
cool.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna,
like, whatever.
Yeah, I know Art Hill.
He's like, you want to throw a Frisbee? I'm like, whatever. He's like, watch this. He throws it up. And it goes
Still in the air.
Around the sun and comes back to him as a boomerang. Like, I've never seen anybody boomerang a Frisbee before.
Yeah.
He did. And I looked at him and I was like, do it again.
Yeah.
And he did.
And he's like,
the
go out to
fact
dinner
that
with
he
me.
could do it again,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, now we're in. I'm in.
I'm all in.
I do.
And then, has he developed your Frisbee, your disc skills? Okay.
Yes, but then he makes me play. And
Yeah,
I'd
I was
rather
going to
him,
ask, like...
Yeah, I'd rather him go out in the street in front of our house with all the neighborhood kids and, and play a game with them and
Cause
come
a
back
ruckus.
in and just like leave me to all of my 47 house projects that I have going on at any time. And then,
Perfect.
you know, it's nice to have an hour and a half.
So how often does he play Ultimate Frisbee? Per month?
In a
Or
4 week span.
I'm good at math, so I'm going to say
She is really good.
0.1% per month. I encourage him constantly to go do that, but he also is sometimes thinking maybe it's not right to go out because I'm not in shape to do so. So that balance of I don't want to go out and injure myself, but I do want to go out and do something that I enjoy is something that he's always...
It rides that line.
Things do happen.
Yeah.
Things do happen.
Yeah, Dr. Brad.
Yeah.
So I hear.
I'm going to play some Eye of the Tiger for you right now.
So what kind of advice would you give to him?
Well, currently I want to get, this spring, summer, I need to focus a lot of my time on getting back into better shape because I do want to, I don't want to feel like that all the time. Sure, there's certain things I shouldn't involve myself in that are definite forms of injury, but I want to get back to doing more than I'm doing now since the injury. So whatever that might be, even right now, somebody talked about bowling, And like right now, I don't think I should try bowling.
Yeah.
But I would like to be like, oh,
sure,
our family's gonna go bowling. Let's go bowling.
Sure, I'll bowl you out of off the planet.
And so
it's a long road, man.
Yeah, it is a balance. Like you don't want to get injured. I understand that, especially with running as much as it involves, and ultimately I understand being a little wary of that. But
change of direction running.
Yeah,
it's very different.
So I would understand him wanting to feel like he needs to train for that, and
that's really it. That's really it.
But then it's not just about injury too, right? It's about aging, and how do we say, okay, enough's enough on this thing that I really enjoyed when I was 20, 25, 30, and now I got to find something new, and how much effort we have to put into finding something new.
Right.
You could also look at the different age ranges on said sport, because ultimate frisbee, right, is a lot different when you're 20 years old and you're 40 years old. There are non-competitive leagues and people that take it as something more fun and not necessarily as competitive. Yeah. Which is like, it's difficult for all of us to say.
Play with more dudes your age, is that what you're saying? Like find the league for the dudes?
Dudes
and it's like...
Whoever.
Says the man who still goes trick-or-treating.
Hard. Hard. Not just trick-or-treating. We're beating that record.
Ultimate trick-or-treating.
This year coming up, everyone's going to be on wheels. I don't care what your costume is this year. It's inline skates, and we're going hard. Matt and I will be on 12 speeds.
You let me know if you need help with your costume.
Oh, I really appreciate it.
How about
honestly,
Tron? Maybe Tron?
Yeah, Tron. Perfect, man. Perfect.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's on. It's on. After that, we'll go to something motorized, and we'll just drop him off in a trailer.
But if he wants to get back in it, we can find someone to train him. We'll get
sure.
Dr. Danielle to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
she'll fix you or she'll kill you.
Yeah.
Get him ready.
She's
for
got
some
a T-shirt
ultimate.
that says that.
Yeah, they made it after her.
Yeah.
Because she killed the guy.
Yeah,
okay.
That is what you get.
Do you have any questions for our super special guest, Wendy?
I don't.
Before we release her?
I don't.
She's such a trooper. She came in here, she's like meetings and stuff like that. She's on one of those green screens right now, but muted. So they think she's at that meeting, but she's really on our podcast. And they're like, oh, she's loving this. Like, and that lady over there, she has had the best times. That's basically great. All right. Miss Wendy, do you have anything for the people?
No, I'm real pleasure to be here, and really honored that you think that I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
You're wonderful. We can punch people in the back all day long, and we do. But sometimes those people turn around and they're like, hey, I have a question, or hey, can we talk about this? And it floors us, because the faster you give care, the faster people want care. And people that want to take the time and go, hey, I want to talk about this. Oh, heck yeah, man. Because it's twice the effect that we can reach into that person. Then we get somebody like you that isn't afraid to talk, and they affect the 5 people around them.
Yeah.
And now look where we're at.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So thank you very much.
Sure.
So, all right, Dr. Maurer, anything for Wendy?
No, that was great. That was everything.
Matt?
Nothing.
All right. So another successful bone story in the book. So for Wendy, for Dr. Brad, for Dr. Matt, I'm Dr. Josh, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.
And a big thank you goes out to Hug Monster Sound for somehow allowing the doctors' voices to sound even better than they already do.